Right. Good evening, people. My name is JR and I am the FRgooner. I'm joined there by John, Nabir, and Kerr. How are you guys today?
All
You
good,
good?
bro. All good,
All good,
All
man.
good,
Yeah,
brother.
thank you,
man.
All good.
brother.
Good. We
I
should
feel
be
good.
happy. We had a victory after last time we spoke. I did say we were going to get it. Everyone else, I do remember a couple people
You
saying,
was the
nah,
only one
I was
still.
the only one who backed my team. Yeah. You should be ashamed.
But JR, to be fair, let's let's be
Nah.
let's be honest though. You were
Tell
Who was
me.
messaging me through the game. You didn't have this confidence yet. You were like,
hey, that was fully more hope than
Hey,
expectation,
listen,
boy.
I forgot he's got the
Bro,
voice notes as well in it. Yeah, I
trust
should
me.
remain quiet.
listen.
Man's
And it
got the
wasn't a, it
receipt.
wasn't a, it wasn't a clean through either. It was
Nah, you
tricky.
know
It
what?
was
I'm not
tricky.
even gonna lie. It's one of those
Disciplined team.
matches. Yeah, it was one of those matches definitely where I was switching in between the match because I was so nervous. You know what I'm saying? Like it's one of them ones I couldn't watch, especially those last 5 minutes. I was nervous, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Man's going toilet and that, having tea
Yeah,
breaks.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I just locked it off. To be fair, I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't
Are you
interested.
liked
Did
it?
you?
Yeah. It was because they've let me down so much recently. I just said I've got
Yeah.
Yeah.
the dishes to wash and that. I'm just about it.
Do you know what? I don't want to dwell on it too much, but after the Martinelli sending off as well, I was kind of thinking,
Mm,
oh, here we go, same old, same old.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was waiting for my message from the bear saying, you see, this is what I tell you, blah blah blah. But it didn't happen. We got the victory. And in
yes, we did.
hindsight, how important was that victory? Would I say, Nabir? Would you?
Now, for me, we're gonna put it back to the Arsenal, some section of the Arsenal fans after. Um, it was a vital win.
Mm,
And what I don't understand is when you win, like you can make your plans for the season predictions, but we never know until the season kicks off. So that's when you think, okay, this is where we are. Wolves conceded the least goals at home. We went down to 10 men as well, and we got that win. Now, if that doesn't give the team and the fans that sort of drive to say, nah, top four is ours, because that result there, we can't now settle and say, yeah, I'm happy with sixth after that. For me,
mm,
we dug in. It was a big win, not against no small team. Like Wolves are playing very well. Look, they turned over Spurs the next game.
exactly.
So for me,
Yeah, but
significant. And what I can't understand is there's still a section of Arsenal fans that are still trying to play it down. No, 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 no. We should just be no, bro. After that happens, for me, that's the moment when you say, no, we got to go for this. Same similar thing happened years ago. You man are old enough. Man United come in '97 to Highbury,
Mm.
and nobody could actually say, yeah, we were gonna win the league that season. But we were thinking, nah, Wenger's good. When you know what, we're doing all right. When we beat them, all of a sudden we were like, nah, you know what, yeah. Nah, 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 nah. We got to at least challenge them now, innit?
Yeah.
Because after you come out from a game like that, so for me, it's a huge game for me, and that's why I'm like, nah, we've got the ball in our court now. Let's go for the jugular now. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, no, I fully agree, man. I fully agree. I mean, Kerr, if we look at the performance, obviously we had 10 men. How would you
Mm.
rate the performance from us in that match?
Um, I thought it was a decent away performance from us up until the red card. Um, I didn't think we done too bad. Thought we played okay, we're pretty solid. Wolves weren't exactly creating loads of chances or anything like that. We looked very compact, very solid. Yeah, it was a good away shape.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was good setup considering we're going to a team that's difficult to break down and things like that. Especially at home, they play well. So it was good to just get there, get the result. Because to be honest, I wasn't really looking. Like there's certain games you think you go into and you think I'm looking for a performance in this game. This wasn't one of them for me. I
that's what
literally just
Arsenal's
wanted
done
to
to
get
you, yeah.
in. Like I'll be honest with you, but that there's certain games in it because like there's certain games you think, do you know what? Let's go there, get a nice comfortable win, get our goal difference up a little bit. Like there are them games. This wasn't one of them for me. Wolves away, when you look at the amount of goals they concede, I think they're only second in the league to City in terms of their defence this season, goals conceded in the
Mm.
league and whatever. So when you think about that, they're not a team that go and get slapped 2s and 3s and things like that. It just hasn't happened. No matter who they've played this season, even the best team in Man City, they always give them a good game. So I expected it to be a good game. So I just wanted to get in there and get the 3 points. The only thing that I would say, add to the Bears' point, was I'd say that it was a massive 3 points, and we do need to say, right, we need to now build on that.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's only going to be significant if we go and collect 3 points in our next game.
That's what I'm saying.
Because then it kind, because if we don't go and get 3 points in our next game now, that big result at Wolves to me doesn't mean. Do you know what I mean? It don't. Yeah, it don't matter no more to me.
I mean,
go on, John.
I was going to even to add to that, the result plus what everybody else with their games in hand haven't done as well. Then add the fixture list at the end of the season. You know, it's all lining up very nicely. As long as the squad, the thinness of the squad doesn't come back to bite certain individuals at our football club. But that's another subject.
No, definitely. Would you say, because obviously I did mention that you guys were reluctant to go for the victory against Wolves in that match, it's fair to say. Has it kind of changed your mindset then in terms of building confidence with this Arsenal team? The Bear, I'll go back to you, because obviously you did say that you thought we'd lose that match. Has this instilled confidence in you with this team? Knowing that we had the spine, the fact that we went there 10 men.
No, it's not. I still don't have confidence in the team. No, I still don't have confidence in the team.
Mr. Nugget, go on.
But it's instilled the fact that the excuses and the mollycoddling is running out. Because for me, I saw that performance and I said, okay, you man can do this, yeah? So with every good team, when you grow as a team, because that's what people want to do, you grow as a team from those results. And if you start getting good results, then I start expecting more. Like John, if he says, come, let's go out to eat, I'm not going to Nando's with him because I've seen the standards and the money that my man is making. So for me, that is what I'm going to expect. But on all seriousness, so after that result, they've shown me you man can, grind this result out, play well, and do this. So that's one of his mansions, by the way. He said, don't worry about it. That's one of his mansions in Ghana, but we'll talk about that after. But look, at the end of the day, but for me, so it hasn't installed confidence, my bro, but it has shown me what they can do and the challenges with them to continue it. Exactly what Ken was saying. You have to, it's not confidence, but it's like, I don't want to hear no excuses. We are playing less games than everybody. Nobody else in that's chasing that top 4 is out of Europe. And a lot of them are still in the cups. So, as John said, the onus is on us now. Boy, we just got to put one performance a week in. If we can't put one performance a week in, then, you know what I mean? For me, it's not good enough.
No, definitely. And I think that's one of the key things as well that I've seen, that we've mentioned about the squad not having that big squad, but we've got one game a week. I think that we've got the squad to do it. Hopefully this instills confidence. And one of the issues that I did see arise, and a lot of people were mentioning it, was our discipline issue, which could hold us back.
We've got 2 this month.
Yeah, well, I think since Arteta's come in, we've had 15 red cards. John, would you say we've got an issue, or is there no real issue?
I think we have an issue. I mean, nobody remember I said in our group at the time, I felt bad for Arteta, which doesn't happen often, right? Very rarely. But that was the one sending off where that's not something systemic. Do you know what I mean? In fact, it was the opposite. Martinelli was trying to make sure that he wasn't going to be responsible for Wolves now coming back and maybe stealing a draw or something. So he was doing one of those cynical fouls.
You thought that was the reason that he done that foul, to not let Wolves score?
He did the first foul, and then my man, the ball travelled. He was getting towards the area, and he just said, "Look, it's a typical foul." I think the combination of the two, to do 2 of those cynical fouls in the space of 10 seconds or whatever it was, doesn't happen often. So the 2 yellow card thing was unfortunate, but you could see it was like, you are not going to get through because of what I've done. That's not going to happen because of me. So he just made sure he did a cynical foul. So that one there, I can't really put it down to any kind of systemic lack of discipline, but the numbers are the numbers, and there's a particular culprit, you know, Mr. Granite, that seems to carry on. But I don't know. I think it's something he needs to look at. He needs to sort out. But I wouldn't go as far back, because again, there was a time in the Wenger days where people said we had a discipline issue, and our centre mids were a bit rougher than most. So it's not something I'm concerned
the majority
about.
of them.
Yeah, it's not something I'm concerned about, as long as it's part of us grinding out games and winning games. When it's silly, stupid things that eventually cost us, then you got to worry. So in short, I think he has got an overall issue. There's a mentality issue there overall.
Before you get in there, Kerr, I just want to say the only thing I agree with you, John. The only thing I would disagree with is that he was trying to prevent the goal. I think he just literally lost his head, to be quite honest. And I just thought,
I think he was wrong.
Yeah, and he was wrong as well. But I don't even think he was thinking about the goal. I just think
he
he's thinking, do you know what? I've been fouled. He hasn't been called up for it. I fouled that guy, and I'm angry still, so I'm gonna go find the other guy. And he's completely lost himself. And I think it showed a bit of his immaturity in that sense, to be fair.
Yeah, you're right. I think it's a combination. I think he assessed it incorrectly. Don't get me wrong, but I just think there's an element of Arteta being the firecracker he is on the sideline.
It's gone, well, what we
I
saying?
don't know about that.
Say that again. What did he say?
Kerr, what did you say now? That's saying.
I think there's a slight delay.
Yeah, there's a delay with his one.
Oh. But yeah, John, go on, bro.
Yeah, go on, John. Continue, sorry, bro.
I'm gonna give it a sec because it's gonna reach Kerr, and then he's gonna speak.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe not. Yeah, no. So I think he's assessed it wrongly. Don't get me wrong. And then I don't think it just doesn't help, because you see it sometimes. Arteta's running up and down on the sideline, shouting, etc., blah blah blah, and he doesn't want to be that guy that did that. So yeah, I think it was immaturity, but I also think that it's not the first time we've seen it where people are a little bit hyped up, but they just want to make sure that they take.
Well, you only just got that now from me.
Yes,
like you just because you just pause, bro. But
Nabil, would you say that it's an issue? Obviously, we do have an issue, but do you think it's the responsibility lies with the players? You know, the fact that they're young, or is it in Arteta needs to?
No.
Can we blame Arteta for that?
No. It's nothing to do with this stuff about the players being young, and they're not that young. I know we got a young team, but it's not. No, but come on, we ain't got like 16-year-olds across the whole team. Like, don't get me wrong, it is maybe one of the youngest squads. However, you know, it's the way I look at it now. I think the football landscape is a bit different. I think if you're talking about 10 years ago and then you bring a youngster in, like they're literally like a rabbit in the headlights now, isn't it? For me personally, I think these 22-year-olds, 19-year-olds, I think they are kind of around the first team squad a bit more. So I won't say that, because they're young, they're just getting red cards. There's obviously something going wrong. As John did allude to, I think we all know the number one culprit is obviously Granit Xhaka. And
he's not young.
This is what I'm saying. Facts. Now, Arteta was saying about, the influence of people in the squad and how important it is. Okay, I'm only going to touch on Aubameyang for 10 seconds because I think this has been a talking point. But, he's coming late and, it's not good for the team. I don't really like it. But you got a man that is going out there just being reckless. It's got to that stage.
I'm going to say it's got to that stage.
No, of course. It's your show, bro. But listen, it's got to that stage that it's embarrassing for me as a fan. Where there's many times they've gone back to the studio. I'm not saying that the Sky Sports pundits are the beacon of football, but when their man are actually looking at each other and laughing and saying, this guy, I just don't know with him anymore. It just goes to show. And from getting red cards, he's put us in some very precarious positions with
100%.
it. And I don't quite understand why he is not kind of being ostracized out and said, no, do you know what? Your discipline is bad, man. It's got good. Because before I quickly go on, because remember, there's been many opportunities or many examples where our greatest manager, Wenger, was vexed. Van Persie got sent off. Do you remember the look he gave him? Van Persie said he didn't touch the first team, He didn't touch the first team. You've had Beckham in the World Cup, gets sent. He's not, bro. It's not something, I think it's kind of accepted at Arsenal. Oh, yeah, it's fine. It's Xhaka. He's
Part-time
like that.
disciplinarian. That's
Nah,
what
but
I
then
call him.
see the only point I think that I disagree with you is you mentioned your good friend Aubameyang again. In terms of the
Oh,
ill
he's not
discipline.
yours?
No, he's my guy as well. He's my guy as well. I ain't gonna disown him like that. But you said he turned up late for training, and then we don't know what happened. You keep on making that statement that he turned up late for training, but I just feel that Arteta wouldn't get rid of a player for turning up late for training. So
what about for consistently getting red carded and telling the fans to fuck off? Excuse my French. My mom could be watching.
It's wrong. It's wrong. But you know what? Like I mentioned before,
and we did see that.
We did see that. But the difference is, in Xhaka's defense, and many may disagree with me, is that Xhaka's actually playing half decent. He's had some decent performances this season. Aubameyang has been poor this season, man. We know this. We played today for Barcelona. Did you see him running about like a headless chicken again? The guy's gone. He's finished, man. I love Aubameyang.
He hasn't played in 3 months. Come on, man. Come on.
Nah.
Until recently, he was among our top scorers still.
Until October. Yeah, until October. October, that's a long time away.
JR, you're getting harsh now, man.
Nah,
you're getting harsh with this team.
Nah. Do you know what? I think we saw that he wasn't playing well for us. He couldn't hold the ball. Like, he couldn't play the system that Arteta wanted to play. And therefore, we got rid of him. And then it was ill discipline as well. I don't know what happened there. We don't know what happened there. But at the same time, I wasn't angry that we got rid of him. If it was someone like Saka, for example, we sold Saka, everyone would be going crazy, yeah? Because he's playing good football, Emil Smith-Rowe, etc. But the likes of Aubameyang has not been playing good for us probably since the Community Shield.
But let's separate two things, though. Yeah. You could say, okay, from a football point of view, he hasn't been playing well. As much of a fan of his, first admit that. But for me, this is more about the how, right? There's a way to do it. And to link to Nobert's earlier point, with this disciplinarian thing, all right, well, where's the consistency, right? You consistently leave your team in a difficult position to ill discipline or bad mistakes. You were the captain, you're an experienced professional, you're international, you've got lots of experience. If that's the case, let's call a spade a spade. I don't think he got rid of him just because he was late that one time. I think there's a catalogue of things.
Yeah.
I also think there was a personality clash from the little that we know. And I also don't think it's a coincidence that, again, the highest earner by some margin has to be ostracized and basically elbowed out the door. So my tip with Arteta is like, look, this whole disciplinarian thing, let's have it consistent. And the only thing I was saying in slight defense here is when you think about all the red cards David Luiz was about for a bit, innit? So he was collecting one or two here or there. When David Luiz and Xhaka are about, you're buying that lottery ticket, it increases, it increases. So.
Yeah, no, definitely. You mentioned David Luiz, actually. So a good time to mention him. Firstly, Kerr, are you back, bro?
I think so, bro. I can hear you. I think I am. I don't know what's going on.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good. I'll send the next question to you then, man. Like, we've been talking about, obviously, whether we're all disciplines, who's to blame, whether it's Arteta, whether it's the players, or is it the referees? Obviously, we had the David Luiz situation with Wolves last year, and that wasn't, for me personally, that wasn't a sending off. He got the red card, obviously. It changed the match. A lot of people have been saying that, the referees do pick on Arsenal. Would you agree with that, or is that rubbish for you?
Listen, the referees are incompetent, yeah? So there's incompetencies in a lot of games for a lot of different teams, yeah? However, for Arsenal, whether it was, I think we really started noticing it when Wenger first come here, because he was a foreign manager, one of the first in England. He wasn't just one that came to take part. He was literally one that come to take over.
Jeez.
He come here.
Tell him again.
He did though, literally. When Wenger stepped here, the English media were trying to kill him. Fergie hated him. Like, he don't know nothing about our football. They did not want to know nothing about Wenger. He just come from Japan. What's he know about our game?
Yeah, facts.
All them
who's this guy?
They don't know about him. They wanted to disrespect him, yeah? Then he started coming out and then he started arguing with the press and whatever. What do you know about me? You always lying, this, that, and the other, when they started trying to intrude and find out a little bit more about, well, who's this guy? Because he's come here and now he's just blowing it up. His team's playing a style of football we've never seen before over here. Now he's bringing foreign players that we've never heard of over here. That are just Vieira, Nicolas Anelka, teenagers just lighting up the league that no one had ever seen before. So it was like, and then it went from that, and it got to a point as well. You got to imagine our first Arsene Wenger teams, you couldn't do nothing with them. Teams were so frustrated. You couldn't fight them. Yeah. You couldn't out football us. You couldn't like whatever way you wanted it, we give it to you. We beat you up on the pitch as well as. Do you know what I mean? Like, we went through that. They hated
it's making me emotional, man.
Remember that was.
And they hated it. They hated it. The media, everybody hated it because it weren't Fergie. It weren't the glory boy. Do you know what I mean? It weren't none of the English boys. It weren't Redknapp. It weren't none of these media darlings. The British media love. And that's when they started. And that's when we started getting a bad rep from the referees and stuff, because we started having Fergie and all them boys talking about our team, and then the refs were going out there and they started allowing teams to put one on us. Oh, they don't like it when we kick them and all that. When our team started changing and we started bringing in the Fabregas and all that, the more technical players, it was, well, Arsenal don't like it up them. So all of a sudden we've gone from a team who you couldn't fight, you couldn't beat up, you couldn't play football against, to now a team that, hang on, if I rough them up, we can actually get into these lot. They ain't gonna want it. And as soon as that started happening, and then you notice even during that time, we were still getting more red cards, and we was the ones getting kicked all over the place. And then now,
three career-ending injuries potentially.
Diaby, Ramsey, Eduardo.
So you think to yourself, wow, like these are like one of the most horrific tackles, and it's all happened to Arsenal. And we actually got blamed.
And none of them were initially straight red cards either. None of those were initially straight red cards.
No. But do you think I understand what you're saying in regard to those days, but would you say that's continued into these days now? Because obviously I'm looking at Arteta's record and we've got 15 red cards with him.
I think we're always refereed against inconsistently. I think against Arsenal, you always see decisions that you've never seen before in your life. What about you? We just touched on that one player, Eduardo. Do you remember when he dived in the Champions League? He was the first player to be retrospectively banned for diving in a football match in the Champions League.
I think you've
Eduardo.
my memory. I think
he might still be up to this day the only player that's been banned for diving. Okay.
Do you know what?
An Arsenal player. Like the game that we saw the other day, right? That now, if you want to say that referee done everything by the letter of the law, and we want to be that pedantic, and say he done everything correct because Martinelli done this, he done that, blah blah. So if we're going to be that pedantic, when Martinelli tried to stop the throw-in being taken, that actually made that player give a foul throw. So if we're going to be pedantic, that play should have been pulled back for a foul throw, and he should have booked Martinelli for obstructing the throw-in, okay? Because when that ball's entered the pitch, it's come on in an illegal way because of what Martinelli done, okay? So he's then let that carry on, and then booked him at the end of it as well. You can't do that. I've never seen it before, and it's not just me. You've got people, mate, that have been watching football twice as long as me.
First time it's happened, isn't it?
Never seen that ever happen in your life. Exactly what Mikel Arteta said at the end. You have to want to give that as a red card to have sent him off there. In my opinion, I think it was so harsh. I think if you're going to give him a card, you have to pull him. You have to pull him from the first offence.
Speak on it, John. I feel like you want to say something, bro.
Yeah, no, you know what? Because you know how these things go. You go in this debate in the WhatsApp groups a couple of times and that. I don't think it was harsh. I think it was unlucky. Yeah, I think it was unlucky, but I don't think it was harsh. Like if you do those two fouls in that short space of time, the ref can do it. I always say in football,
don't put yourself in that position.
Yeah, don't give the man the choice. And I think you can say it's unlucky, definitely, because I'm with you on the refs. I don't rate any of the refs. Yeah, and one of my brothers, one of the other groups, he likes to call ref idiots. That's the name for them, but I won't go that far. But right now, I don't rate the standard of refereeing, so I don't think most refs would have even known to apply that rule or to go there. They would have probably given him the topping up and said, look, boom, there is a yellow. But you can't say it's harsh when the law allows it. You've just been unlucky that you got the ref that day that knew he could do it. And to the point you made earlier, he assessed the situation correctly. He probably didn't need to do that second foul, you know. I'm more annoyed that the first foul wasn't effective enough to be honest.
I'd understand if the ball was in play though. You know, like if he's made 2 fouls while the ball's in play.
But I don't think it needs to be in play though for it to
then
be
I
a
understand
foul,
that.
you know what I'm saying?
But you see,
but how? Yeah. But if a ball's not in play, yeah, and he's giving an offence, yeah, before the ball's come into play, yeah.
Yeah.
So if it's an offence before the ball's come into play, are you not supposed to pull him up from then? Because once the ball's now in play, that's a different.
But he could have played the advantage though, and it happened with there was 3 seconds in between both of the incidents happening. That's quick, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? So obviously he could have pulled it out from there, but then Wolves had the advantage going forward, and then he put another foul in. It all happened so quick. Go on.
The thing is with this, yeah, is that because obviously we could just go back and forth with it. I think there's 2 points. One, I agree with Kerr that the referee just before, now Cedric was moving a bit mad. He had a good game, by the way, but he was moving mad. The referee actually had to talk to him. Now, for me, it's about consistency. Now, the ref was talking to players to say, listen, if you do one more, like you're going to go in the book. So for me, yes, everybody is right. It was harsh on Martinelli. I think should have got the yellow card and a serious, like Martinelli.
Yeah.
I let that one go. Listen, if you even sneeze once more,
literally,
like, you're off. Because it was just like you're talking.
For me.
Yeah,
that's the unlucky bit. But you can't say it's harsh if it's something that technically can be done. I just think it's unlucky. You just unlucky. You got that ref that day, and you've done that twice. You shouldn't have done it.
I just think in life, certain times,
But we've seen so many times this happen.
Yeah. No,
someone fouls someone, it's a yellow card, and then he'll kick the ball away. You ain't giving him 2 yellow cards for that.
Yeah. I hear you.
It's inconsistency, you're right.
Yeah. And it's always inconsistent on our part.
I do agree. There's definitely inconsistency there. So obviously we did get the victory though. There was a couple failures, obviously with or successes we can call it, with Tottenham obviously losing. And I think they lost twice at Southampton match, and they lost to Wolves as well. Man United had a few bad matches as well. You know, I think they drew with Burnley, and obviously recently they did win. But top 4 is looking spicy right now. I feel that before the Wolves match, we were not too sure. We had a bad January, you know. But in terms of top 4 now. You know, who's our biggest threat? I'm going to put this one to you, Nabeer.
Man United.
You think so?
And yeah. Because in the other group chat, I don't really know John's opinion on Man United too much, but there's a few characters who are very, very disrespectful. And the thing is, I'm not saying Man United are great. No, by any means, I'm not saying they're great. But you need to look over the last couple of years. And to be fair, I just think even like, look, they went on a bad run. And then look, against Brighton, that was a big banana skin for me. I thought, you know, Brighton are coming with a point here, and this is even going to be a perfect weekend and Monday. And they just got those players, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's for me, it's those sort of names that I think
they're sending off as well, though.
Yeah, no, I'm not denying that, but Man United, you know, they're nowhere performing where they should be. But I think they just have, when you've got Cristiano Ronaldo and, you know, or Bruno Fernandes, they're not going to have 4 bad games in a row. It just doesn't happen, does it? So for me, they're our biggest threat. And secondly, you did say that the league or top 4 is looking spicy. The question you need to ask the Arsenal players is, how hot do you like your chicken? Are we going for lemon and lime or lemon and herb, or are we going to go for hot? Because this is what the question is. It is looking spicy, but can we take that pepper? That's the question for me. Because if we can, the top 4 is in our hands, really. That's
hopefully they don't want Perry Tamer, boy.
Bro, it's in, you're right. And it's in, for me personally, it's in our hands. That Wolves game showed me you can grind out these results and put in a good performance. So,
You know what it also showed?
Yeah.
That they had, that, you know what it showed is the way they celebrated. I know Wolves had a bit of an issue with the way we celebrated, yeah. But to me, what that showed was the way them boys celebrated was that during this, like, the end of that transfer window, whatever the case is, I feel like Arteta sat them all down. They've had a conversation as a group and said, this is what we're going for. And I feel like they all know that's the task at hand right now. And I feel like the way they celebrated there was them saying, okay, like, this is achievable. This was a big step. And now let's push on.
It's also when you kind of put something into motion and it works, do you know, that feeling after is great. Do you know what I'm saying? So in terms,
they went to the game though.
Yeah, that game. So they went to the bye.
Okay.
You know, things have been no. Things have been
because it's not been working.
No, things have been going bad. You know, we went to the bye. We trained. We didn't get the plays that we wanted in the transfer window, but we dug deep. We had 10 men. And we got the victory. Do you know what I'm saying? And an important victory as well against a very good team. So I think that was why we were so happy, so to speak. And let's not forget, you know, when Wolves got that win the other day against Tottenham, did you see how happy they were?
Yeah,
do you know what I'm saying? I don't even
listen
to
that was lemons from Levers, man. That was just bitterness from Levers. From Levers. So I don't even. When you ain't got no points from the game, I don't want to hear. Don't talk to me about how to celebrate. When you get your 3 points, you do with it what you want to do with it. Yeah, don't worry about what I'm doing with mine.
For real.
That's what I'm worried about when you play them.
Yeah, well, this is where the consistency point comes back in though. So it's all well and good, but yeah, a couple of weeks. But to be honest, answer the question. Truthfully, I think Edu and Arteta are the biggest threat to our top 4. To be fair, because the lack of activity in the transfer window has meant that, you know, you've not put yourself in a position to take advantage of the situation, right, of the emerging situation, because the other guys are falling by the wayside. I don't know what Spurs are doing. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what they're doing over there. You know, everyone's talking about Europa and the depth of their squad's gonna hurt West Ham. We've got games in hand. So then to leave yourself with 17, 18 players with an average age of 22 or whatever it is of our first 11, it's just nonsense, to be quite honest. And then so you get to a point now where we need everybody to stay relatively fit. We need everybody to not be suspended, right? Because we still have to play the 2 clubs that are currently ahead of us. So whether they count as the games in hand or not. And recent history suggests that the suspensions won't go away because, as we just talked about, right? And injuries won't go away, as we just talked about. And we're a team where we need that cast iron 11 to do the things that we know this team can do, right? So for me, they're the biggest threat. But if you talk about team, then I would agree on that. I think Man United, they've got that quality. Even if they're playing poor, if a chance falls to Ronaldo, 89th minute, or to a Pogba,
he's been there before. They've been there before.
Yeah, it's that level of quality that could swing it.
I agree. I just want to go back to that point that you made with Arteta and Eddie being probably the biggest threat to top 4. There's a good point raised. I see Neves laughing because he knows I'm an Arteta fan, isn't it? Like,
This guy's a flip-flop, you know. Hey, what's wrong with this guy? I bet he's an Arteta fan.
He's sponsored by Havana, fam.
This guy is the Don King of Arsenal. Like,
if he lifts up his foot, bruv, he's modelling.
He's
modelling in Havana.
I'm that guy, man. I'm that guy. I'm not even gonna lie.
He's modelling the shit out of them flip-flops.
I just want to say that, you know, I kind of felt that obviously, we've been left thin in a way, but couldn't you look it on the flip side and say, excuse the pun, that there was no one to actually get within that January window, or we tried to get who we wanted to get within that January window. I don't want to go back to the January window too long, but but we did, you know, we've got rid of a lot of wages on our books. You know, I think they've halved it now in a space of a year or something. They've got the players that they needed. They built that spine from the summertime. They understand who they want to get into the team. So there is a plan, there is a strategy. unfortunately, January's a difficult time to get those players. So they said, all right, instead of just panic buying, we're going to wait till the summer. Do you not think that there's a strategy behind it? Can we not give them applause for actually having a structure and actually not panicking in that situation?
Nah, not from me. So I think the best money because he knows strategy. That's the word. You see that word there? See, that's what I do for a living. It jars me. So look, it's a trade off, right? It's a trade off. So I agree. There's a long term aim, yeah. So there's the argument could be we didn't do X, Y, or Z in January because there's that long term aim, right? That doesn't mean you haven't jeopardized top 4 this season. So yeah, you can say I jeopardized top 4 this season to try and achieve the long term aim. I think if you look at the other movements in the market, personally, I think there were opportunities there that even if someone comes in and doesn't do well or doesn't come in and score 15 Prem goals between now and the end of the season, you could have done one of two things. One, you could have at least shown that you tried to execute something short-term, tactical, that didn't jeopardize the long-term. So we tried, someone came. And two, you've got a body in. And I think sometimes people forget that. Sometimes you physically need the person that can actually play in that position, can step on the pitch. They're not filling in. It's not a right winger trying to play. Do you know what I mean? And I think there's other moves in the market that, again, Nobs and me and other boys have discussed many a time. And also, Aubameyang going, you didn't want him in the squad, right? You from well before the January transfer window, you knew that you were going to have one less striker at your disposal, okay? There are, and it's not my job, I'm not a scout, but there are plenty of players in the market we've seen move for short-term loans with no obligation to buy that actually would have been of minimal egg on our face. You came, you didn't do well, okay, fine. Not the old deals of Arsenal old, where a man comes for 6 months, we don't have to buy him for a madness, he's on crazy wages. No, but there are other things one could have done. I personally think. But if they showed that and said, no, we're not doing it because of the long term, then own it. He seems to be forthright about talking about everyone else and airing people out. So own it and talk about it and say, look, for the long term, we did what we did, which means that this is going to be a little bit harder. But he talks like everything's patterned and he knows what he's doing and it's not a problem. That's not the reality.
He did speak the other day with the supporters in regard to obviously this transfer window was one of the things that did come up. And, you know, he did say that they were actively trying to get players in within that January window. It didn't quite materialize. They did have key players that they were going for. They're still lined up for the summer. So for me personally, I kind of think that, do you know what? It didn't quite work out with what we were trying to do. They did fail in what they were trying to achieve in January. I think they spent too much time on trying to get Vlahovic, if I'm honest with you. And that was the big mistake for me personally. You know, you're not going to get plan A, but there's definitely going to be a plan B and C. Yeah, let's try and go those. And those are the players we're going to try and get for the summer. Let's try and push for those. But if there was a case that we wasn't going to get it in January, because, you know, these players we're trying to get are not going to be no random players playing for these squads. They're going to be top players that we're trying to acquire who are key players for those teams, you know. So it's difficult. I'm seeing a bit of face like he's not feeling it. He's not feeling it.
Nah, because go on.
Quickly, but I think the point I'm making is your plan B doesn't necessarily have to be taking a Vlahovic from someone. There are players out there who are rotting on the bench or in squads. You know, Coutinho has come and hit the ground running. Villa have got him with no obligation to buy. It's a risk-free situation. It's like leasing. It's like renting a car. They'll pay the wages they agree, and they'll dash him back at the end of the season. If we want to keep it, we'll talk. There's things like that. So you're right. It's plan A, and remember, these man, this is their job, so they know the people in football. Even before the January window opened, if you're Arsenal, you know if Juventus or someone comes knocking, you're not winning that race. So plan B, plan C, plan D should have been there. And I think even in the darkest, the worst days of our Arsenal transfer dealings with some of the crazy signings, at least it was a situation where a man said, look, I don't want to end this window without another body. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, there's a flaw to that. Yeah. I don't want to see any more Ben Ayoun's or anything. There's a flaw to that. But there was enough where we are now with post-COVID, etc., I think there was enough mid-level quality where if you brought someone in and it didn't work out, you could do it on a type of deal where at the end of the season we wash our hands. And at the very least, I'm saying, you know what? You tried, and we weren't left with 18 first-team players.
Yeah.
no,
Quickly, because I know we're going to have to
Oh,
move on. And I'm going to
yeah.
jump on what John was saying. Yeah.
Mm.
This sort of thing of we're going to wait into the summer. Guys, the time is now, in it. Like the way we're going on, if I told you at the beginning of the season that in Feb we'll be in this position, games in hand, literally above the people in fourth, you ain't got no time. You'll talk about the summer time. Look at Vlahovic. Remember, whatever targets you've got in the summer, they might go to another club. It only takes one phone call, you know.
Yeah, straight.
If now Liverpool say, "Oh, Isaac, actually, we want him," you'll just think, "Oh, I was going to Arsenal, but now I'm going here." So for me, I know what you're saying. Oh, let's plan for the summer. Let's plan.
Yeah.
But bro, right
Summer may
now
be
we
too
can
late.
taste it, take it.
And a very small point on top of that as well is you want to be in a Champions League position to talk to some of these
That's
players
what
in
I'm
the summer.
saying.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
yeah,
this
yeah,
thing
yeah.
fluctuates. So don't get
You
me wrong.
guys-
We're no Europe now. You want to, if you have Europa League, you can talk to someone. Fine.
Yeah,
Right?
facts. I agree.
But actually, you need to do something to help yourself be in that situation, because actually, it's not a bad situation to be in. To have Champions League, you can say to the player, you're going to play more here. You can go to another Champions League club, one of the bigger clubs, but you're going to play more here. You can have a slightly different conversation. So again, we're not there. I'm not in the room, but from what we can see in the actions, that January transfer window for me could have been executed a little bit better to give yourself a better chance of doing the big targets in the summer.
No, I agree. Right, I'm gonna put my biggest threat, and I'm gonna hand over to Kerr to give his suggestion for who's our threat to top four. For me personally, I'm gonna agree as well. I think Man United as well. I think they're sleeping giants at the moment. And I've been watching them as well. And I think in the first 45 minutes of each match, they're actually quite a good team. Do you know what I'm saying? Attacking wise, I think what happens is they don't finish off the game and they allow teams to get back into the match. However, in the Brighton match, to be fair, in that first half, Brighton were playing very well and deserved to be winning, to be fair, you know. So, yeah, for me, everyone was talking about Conte's the manager for Tottenham, so that means that they're going to be one of the better teams. I saw a couple guys in here said that as well, you get me? But I leave it. But I never thought that Tottenham would have that consistency to kind of push for top four. I think Man United have got the quality of team or squad to do that. And I think West Ham will falter, to be quite honest. I don't think they've got the squad. I'm hoping. Obviously, I'm hoping. I don't think they've got the squad to continue with what they're doing. I think they're overachieving at the moment, if I'm honest with you. So yeah, but we've got the games in hand, but as we saw with Tottenham, you've got to win those games in hand to, you know, that's the key thing to do. Yeah. You got to make it count. But yeah, Kerr, go on quickly. You tell us, are you going to agree with us? Is Man United the biggest threat, or would you say someone else?
I would agree with you, yeah, but I would disagree with one thing you just said about West Ham. Because I think
he's from East London.
I was just about to
I am
say
from
that.
East London. I'm an East London boy. Yeah, I can't even lie. Most of my family are West Ham. Yeah, so I can't even deny that. You know what I mean? My nan lives on Bowling Road. Like, it's peak.
Bro.
But yeah, it's peak, fam. But no, in all seriousness, though, I would not rule West Ham out, because I think the one thing they have got that Man United and Tottenham both haven't got is that they're actually a team. They've got good camaraderie in that team. They haven't quite got the squad of, say, Man United or even Arsenal. But on their day, they can give anybody a good game. And I feel like if they can stay consistent, they're in with a shout. I wouldn't dismiss them easily, because I feel like they could finish quite easily above Tottenham this season. And I'd say Man United, like you say, for the quality purpose, you'd probably give them a slight edge. But West Ham, I wouldn't rule them out, is what I would say.
No, definitely. I wouldn't rule none of these teams, like even Wolves, to be fair. Do you know what I'm saying? They're all within there.
Even the
know?
confidence they would have got after beating Tottenham, and I'll
Yeah.
tell you now,
Away
if they
from
come
home.
to our place and turn us over after
Yeah.
after what happened, what we done to them, they'll be on a high. mate.
That's why this Brentford game, we need to nail them 3
Yeah.
points.
It's massive.
Like,
It's massive, and that's why I said
nail it
after
quick.
the thingy, if we don't win this Brentford game at home, it kind of renders that last game pointless.
Yeah,
I'm confident
definitely.
though.
Pointless. But
I'm gonna touch on the
okay.
Brentford match. What I wanted to do is just obviously we've got 3 matches to be confirmed, and I just want to just quickly go through these 3 matches, and I just want you to suggest how many points are we gonna get from these 3 matches. You know, you're gonna turn on your Mystic Megs now. I'm gonna start with John. How many points do you think we're gonna get? We've got obviously Liverpool at home, Chelsea away, and Spurs away.
I think we're gonna get 6 points.
6 points, yeah.
Wow. Huh?
Yeah.
We see those 6 points, big man.
Well, I'll
Chelsea,
back us to
Spurs.
beat Spurs. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I'll back us to beat
Yeah,
Spurs.
I'm with him.
And I will
2
back us
draws.
against Chelsea.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
I'll
Okay.
Win.
back us
Yeah,
against
Chelsea, yeah.
Yeah, and boy, Liverpool right now.
Yeah, it's big.
It's long. It's long because the thing is, Chelsea are not in fantastic goal scoring form, right? So their team still works well, but they're not scoring well. And he seems to manage to be able to set us up well against Chelsea and the Liverpools. But Liverpool, even if one of their guys is not on fire, etc., they will still score. So I think I'll back us to beat Spurs away, and I'd back us to get a result against Chelsea actually. But Liverpool, I'm not even. Yeah.
Okay, Nabe, what would you say, bro? How many
2.
points we getting? 2.
2.
What? 2 points?
Yeah.
Rah.
Because the thing is that for me now, the Spurs game is, if this would have been before Jan, I would have been like, yeah, I think we can go there. But I'm being honest with you, under Arteta, that Wolves performance, I can't see him saying this is going to happen again at Spurs. I don't think they're going to lay down. I think it's a London derby. I think because the gap of the derby, I think we played them in November. So when was it? I think it was early on in the season anyway.
Yeah,
Because I remember it was
yeah.
still. So, sometimes when it's so far away, you forget. When it comes close to the day, I know what you should do in a London derby and what actually the game you're going to get is 2 different things. So for me, that Spurs game, I reckon if we do beat them, it's something that Daniel Levy don't want and then players don't want, boy, because, they were heads on to win that. So I think getting a draw from that, I can see Arteta being quite negative over there and getting a draw. Chelsea, again, we can't be going to Stamford Bridge and winning, boy. If that happens, boy, but I'll take a point now because
He's jamming at that, man. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. The way the team's
Chelsea
playing
away, bro?
Yeah, it will surprise me, bro.
Bro.
The Arteta man will be in my phone. I'm telling you.
I can't see Laka and Eddie chipping in, and you can't just say it has to be Saka because with Tuchel for me as well, tactically he's a G, and I think he'll just lock off Saka in that game. Like he's just gonna be like lock him off, and then we're good.
They're done.
But recently he's been slightly struggling with the balance of his team, and Big Rom's not, Lukaku's not exactly.
No, it's not even Lukaku. We're going to get with some silly penalty and it's going to be Jorginho, 92 minutes. Them one there.
when they came to our ground, they ripped us apart, man. I know that was at the beginning of the season, but Reece James, man, he was hurting us, man. He was hurting us.
And then Liverpool, we're not winning that one. We should be. No, it's not even with Liverpool, but it seems that there's 2 teams that Arteta just love, just laying down for. And it's these man and
the
City. It's like, and other Arsenal fans actually say, "Oh no, let's wipe off the Liverpool City." Like the whole Liverpool and City fixture is like a rotten tomato through the whole club when it comes to the players, managers, and some section of the fans. They accept it. Like that's why I can't see us winning that one.
All right, no, fair enough. And Kerr, go on, bro. What are you saying? How many points are we gonna get? We had Mr. Negative with Nabear saying we're gonna get 2 points. 2 points.
I'm gonna go 6. I'm going somewhere in between. I'm going for 4. I'm going for 4. I'm going for beat Spurs away. I know it's a derby and I know anything can happen. I know we haven't beat Spurs at White Hart Lane in a minute, in the league at least. But what I would say is, I fancy us.
Yeah.
I fancy us. I fancy us against Spurs at home, away. I fancy potentially getting a draw at Chelsea. The only thing is that's too big away. Like, it depends when these are rescheduled. If these are rescheduled
No,
with a
it's
little
true.
bit of,
That's very important.
no,
That's
but
very
like if they're rescheduled with a few weeks in between them or something, I'll be a bit more comfortable. If they're just slotted in one after back to back or something,
You
I'm
know
not
they're
going to
gonna
be
do that,
impressed.
Kurt.
Bro.
They'll do
You know,
that.
like
Yeah,
that.
you know they'll do that. I'd rather just lock
I
it off
know,
now.
mate. It'll
Just
be
get
all
the game
three of
started.
them. It'll be all three of them as the last three fixtures of the season or something.
Yeah,
Like, you know, like,
and then Chelsea would have rediscovered their form. Lukaku was playing like a madman. Like, it would just all be mad. But yeah, the timing, and that's the only thing I was gonna say at roundup, was like the timing of those fixtures is
crucial.
important.
Yeah.
Yeah, a
It
man's
is.
suspended or a man's injured, which is what everyone has to contend with. But you
Yeah.
get to a point where actually, are you now in the situation where Spurs were in, right? Where you had these games in hand, but they're against,
Yeah,
three,
and it can't count for
two top
anything.
teams and your biggest
Yeah.
rivals. So
Yeah. Is it disappeared from the screen? Firstly.
Yeah.
So I was going to give my.
There's some other naked woman on there, man. So you need to check your screen,
mate.
Like,
I knew
make
I
sure
should
you
have.
know what
I knew I
you're.
should have logged out, man. I should have logged out.
yeah, them incognito browsing.
Hey, man dug into the secure folder by accident.
Damn. No, I'm gonna go for 4 points as well. To be fair, I kind of feel that I think we get a victory with Spurs. I think it'll be a draw away from home against Chelsea, and I think Liverpool. I can't see us getting any points there, if I'm honest with you. So 4 points. I'm gonna go for. And before we touch on the Brentford match, I just wanted to share one more thing with you, and just see if you agree with this post. So this was flying around the WhatsApp as always.
Oh, be careful on this one. It's coming from the WhatsApp.
It's gonna be Henri. Oh,
I know the Henri one, not the Henri one.
So give me a break.
Yeah.
What's it saying?
I can't even see it though.
You can't even see it. Let me make it a bit
Like,
bigger.
I can see the pictures, but I can't. What's it saying? Trophy.
So basically it's talking about Arteta's credentials within the last 2 years. So it's stating the fact that some of these people that are saying Arteta, they're not too sure about him, but the guy's come. He's won obviously 2 cups. He's won the FA Cup. If you want to call Community Shield a cup as well. He's rooted out what we call the rats or the media informants, so to speak. He's changed the culture. So obviously he's got people.
To what?
Well, I think
he changed it to.
I think there's no big time Charlie, so to speak. Personally,
He's the only big time Charlie there, bro.
But I think that's the key thing. I think sometimes you got to have. These are people that want to play for him. He's brought these players in as well, and I think these are not from the old guard.
Like Willian.
Yeah, that was a mistake. He made a mistake. I made you angry with this post, didn't it? You are not feeling it.
They deserve a little bit of credit from the summer, though, man.
Huh?
I feel like they deserve a little bit of credit from the business they've done in the summer.
He built a new spine. Do you know what I'm saying?
My only thing is, if you're correcting mistakes you already made, I'm not giving you no credit. That's my only thing.
But
because
can you not learn from your mistakes, though?
As well. Oh, you can, and well done for learning from them. But I'm not going to give you credit for a mistake you made, brother. We'll correct that. It's your job. Do that. Yeah. But when you sound Willian,
what mistake are you referring to here? The players that you let go, or what?
Well, signing certain
players he signed.
There's
Wilson,
Willian.
Yeah, he extended certain players as well. Let's not forget. Everyone conveniently forgets that. So that trimmed the wage bill, brother. You're trimming the wage bill of people you extended. You pushed for that Aubameyang contract.
No, but to be fair, with Aubameyang, everyone would have said to extend at that time. If you
I was going to say the whole world.
The whole world.
This is about this person. This is about this person. Yeah, don't put that on there. Like he got lumbered with his thing. We all wanted. I put my hand up. We needed to sign him. We needed to do that. So posts like this. This is the problem. This is more of a problem than Arteta.
Is this your second account, JR?
Yeah,
because I've seen that
Kevin Durant.
Wow.
Kevin Durant.
Hey, listen, what happened? The last couple weeks, I was feeling like I was becoming like Naber's understudy. Like I started feeling like, you know, like the bear just took me under his wing and was like, "Don't worry, young her. Like, don't worry. Come over to the dark side. I got my arm around you. It's all right. No, I'm gonna show you the ropes. Yeah, this Arteta guy's not the guy. Yeah." And now all of a sudden, it's like the bears brought John in, and boy, now I'm like, whoa, I feel like it's me and JR. Fucking moved over.
No,
I'm like, okay, it's me and JR and John and the bear now. Because boy, I feel like
Hey,
I
John
feel
was
like
not,
I'm
all I know is
very,
John was not feeling
I
this
seem very
post, yeah?
positive
He was
compared to
like,
John
nah,
and
you
the bear
mad.
today.
No, let me be clear. Let me be clear. Because you know what it is? I'm in a couple of Arsenal groups, yeah. I'm proper
Yeah.
Arsenal fan, not the Twitter man, them like.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
we go to games
Come
and all
on.
that. So
Mm.
generally, there's a, you know, John's being negative. There's a lot of Arteta support. Man, have to just understand, yeah. I'm not against him because at the end of the day, he's doing things and making the mistakes I would expect of a first-time manager. My issue is more generally him, Edu, and the management. My biggest issue is the people that make posts like that.
Mm.
That's actually my
Yeah.
issue.
Do you think,
Arteta's
why is
doing
that
the
though?
same
Go on,
things as
go
a
on.
first job.
Why would he? Because some
I
of
just
those
feel like
things, would you not
that's-
say are? Would you not say like, you know, he's reduced the wage bill, something we needed to do? You know, we had a lot of players that were really not, you know, Callum Chambers, Kolasinac,
Contributing.
like they weren't really contributing if we're fair, but they were on big wages to be fair, you know. And that was he's built a spine. He's built a spine which we needed, you know, and it's a solid spine. You wouldn't argue with Tomiyasu, Ben White, etc. Gone a bit.
No, but the spine. But what's at the top of that spine? Sorry.
Ramsdale, boy.
No. Okay. But
You go the other way. You go the other way.
You're trying to be
We're
clever.
getting there though, innit? We're getting there though. To be
bro.
fair, we're getting there. We
bro,
started
You
from
know,
the
it's
back.
a process. It's a process.
Trust
The bear. You don't hear
me.
that word.
Now we need the midfielder and the forwards this summer. The midfielder and the
No,
No,
forwards
but you
this
see,
summer.
again, the thing is, yeah, again, we're talking about in the summer, and the time.
It's gone now. I wish we did get it in January, but it's gone now, innit?
Do you know what it is as
Sure.
well, though? Yeah, like that thing about like the spine and stuff like that. I kind of get it. I personally feel, I'm not going to say it was excellent transfer business in the summer, and now I might be coming across very harsh. I actually do think sometimes you do fluke certain things. I'm not going to lie, and that might be me being very, very harsh. I'm not going to lie.
You thought that was a fluke? All those players? Come on, bro. Stop it.
Do you know why? Because for me, when I can start seeing when I start saying that is a stellar summer, I could see that you slowly been building up to this. But for me, you've done David Luiz, came in before. You've done Willian. So I'm thinking, okay, this is where you're going. And then this one happened. And then look what happened, like a sandwich. And then look, January, trash.
Yeah.
Summer, good. Trash.
So look, to answer your original,
although yeah, there was some trash and there was some good. Like, but I feel like they're learning each
Are we
time.
not moving
Innit?
forward?
Like, that's how I feel. Like, I feel like we had that summer where we did try and add some experienced Premier League players to our squad, like your Louises, like your Willians and whatever. Yeah, and we tried to we tried to incorporate Gabriel, Thomas Partey, and players like that. Yeah, so there was some good, and there were some more questionable ones. And then I feel like again, then this summer, I feel like they've done more good than bad.
But do you think the summer? Okay, so I'm going to let you land quickly. Do you think the summer transfer windows, is there any bearing that the fact that we're playing less games? Because I'm looking at this workplace now, and I'm saying, okay, John, you're really struggling, like with the other load of work from these two. Like I kind of feel that you're kind of struggling a bit. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to say you only work 3 days a week for me. Okay. And you, man, carry on doing what you're doing though. Yeah. Now, would you not say to a certain extent that the fact that our fixture has that not kind of helped the summer signings? Do you reckon if we signed the same summer signings and we're in Europa League, FA Cup, well, it
would be different. FA Cup, yeah, it would be different. 100%. We wouldn't have as much time on the training ground.
On a bit, the strategy, we're not in those cups though, so the strategy can be different.
Yeah, for they knew that when they signed the players. They need to put this on the players. But that's the only thing I'll say. But to answer your question, look, we've moved forward, but for me, it's a couple of things. One, you've had enough windows now. You spent a lot of money, and I'm not one of these man. I'm not saying Arteta like just throw him in. Everything has been rubbish. However, there's been a lot of bad decisions along the way. He collected a team that was 5th. Yeah, I'm not saying we should now be challenging for the title again or whatever else. But I said from the beginning, this is not the guy for the job. This can't be his first job. Yeah, and then along the way, we've seen why. Like, there's been lots of man management errors, in my opinion. I don't think the football has been great either. Yeah, if you look at all the stats around chance creation, all that kind of stuff. Even if you want to do the eye test, we can do that there. So my issue generally is not with Arteta. I expected this, to be honest. Yeah, it's his first job. Anyone like, come on, bro, you're the first time at a big club. Is these fans where if Arteta had kept us 5th all this time and then got 4th, he would be the greatest guy. It was a fantastic signing. The fact that he hasn't done that, it's not his fault. But excuses. Oh, but this, but that, but this. It needs to go both ways. It needs to be reciprocal. Like, so, yes, big man, you've made some mistakes. You came and took a team that was 5th. You signed Willian, gave him bare money, and then he had to leave. Yeah, you extended Xhaka 2 weeks after he was supposed to leave. There's all these things, but he has done some good. I was one of the people that was wondering what the hell is this Ben White signing, Ramsdale signing. So he's done some good, and we're finally moving forward. However, I personally think if you've got a more experienced manager, there's a probability that this would have been different. It could have been better. It could have been better.
Definitely.
But as I said to someone in the group today, if we get to the end of the season and he achieves top 4, I still think he's an arrogant guy, and I don't like him. But I'll keep quiet because he's done his job.
I see what Nabeer's done here. He's brought in Nabeer Protocol Part 2.
But you know
he's building a gang.
He's brought through the militant Nabeer today.
I like it. I respect it. And you made some good points there, man. You know, there's a long way to go. Before we give him, say congratulations, we need to kind of slow down. He needs to do something. He needs to get us at top 4. If not, there's going to be questions because he has spent a lot of money in the summer.
If he does not get 5th,
yeah. I agree.
I'm gonna be If he doesn't get 5th, we're gonna be 3 hours on this show, bro.
We did need to get rid of a lot of them players, though.
No, there's a lot of dead wood, man.
We're in the squad from when we finished 5th. From when we finished 5th, that squad was
could have got rid of Chambers a long time. Yeah, Chambers hasn't played. So
that's what I'm saying. There's there of them, man. It could have been gone long time.
No, but come on, it takes a while to get. It's not an easy thing to get rid of players. Come on, man. Do you know what I'm saying?
A lot that are contracted for long times and sitting on good money.
Big wages. No one had money. It's COVID. No one had money.
But to be fair, he's had opportunities to get rid. He had a 20 million bid for look, Nketiah.
Only just now.
Nketiah could have got 20 million twice. I think it was Newcastle.
And we said no.
At Wolves, you said no. Maitland-Niles, 20 million Wolves. We said no.
Yeah.
So we've had opportunities.
But I don't think they're the people that I would describe as so much as the deadwood. If I'm personally like Ainsley Maitland-Niles and that wouldn't have been the first people I was looking to get out of the club. It would have been your
Socrates and all that.
All these men are 100 odd bags of wheat. When you're talking about a youth player like Ainsley Maitland-Niles, to me, that's not.
I'm not saying that they're dead wood, but you're wasting people's time, Arteta.
Because not even that. Flip it the other way. Arteta, you yourself don't use these players. These men don't even make the match day squad. So if you want to tell me about Fred at Waysville, when the offers come in, bank the P and get rid of him. And Nketiah is running down his contract now. We could have got 8 figures for him.
That one I understand because I don't really know what he's doing at Arsenal. But I don't even know where he's going anyway. No, I'm just being real, bro.
He'll go somewhere for free. He'll go somewhere.
Oh no, he will get a move. But what I mean is, as if you go through, every Premier League team, okay, and their striker, tell me which one of them he displaces.
Brighton, easy.
They need a striker.
Maupay.
But he's not displacing Maupay, bro. He's not displacing Maupay, bro.
Maupay's not clinical. He's a good player.
He's not the most clinical, but he's a. But you know you've been in a game with him,
and he
boy.
scores vital goals.
No, but
you know you've been in a game with him.
If you look at their chances, and I'm not going to say XG because that does my head in. But if you look at their chances, and if you watch some of the chances that Mopé misses, if you have a fox in the box type of striker, he's scoring those. And I think
And they play
Nketiah-
two up front as well, though.
Yeah,
But I
So
feel like he ain't got the all-round game of Morpay though. I don't think.
Different type of player.
Some of them
Different type
players,
of player.
Yeah,
Got
one's a
played
finisher and one's someone who's involved in
exactly.
everything.
No, the thing is, think
Palace want him.
finished.
Vieira wants him a lot.
Yeah, Vieira wanted him.
But then is he gonna get ahead of Edward that they just bought from Celtic?
I don't
You know
think
what it
Benteke.
is, though? That's you know what it is. That's £20 million in my pocket, and that's your business.
I'll take it. I don't even mean for Arsenal. I mean for Arsenal, we need to grab that money. I just mean what's he seem to be in a rush to do. Like I'm a little bit.
I want him to do well, right? He's at Arsenal.
I do.
100%.
But I just mean like, where you in a rush to go?
Yeah. Well, Benteke,
you're
Benteke
at a big club. Like where you in a rush to go?
Yeah. I think Benteke goes. I think Edward will stay. That other tall striker, Hodgson bought him. Maybe Vieira's not feeling him. I don't know. But even at that level, if you want to play, you want a little rotation, right? So it doesn't surprise me that Vieira wants him there, and the kind of football he wants to play, he needs guys who will be clinical in and around the box. So I'm not surprised that they want him for the cost that they thought they could get him for.
But do you think he's going to be starting though for them?
He won't
for
start
Crystal
immediately, but if he can score. If he can basically be their Mopé and score 10 or 12 goals a season, then...
for Brighton you're talking, yeah?
Oh, no,
I think Crystal Palace is
Newcastle.
Yeah,
I think it might
Newcastle. What, you got that type of money? You're going to...
No. Do you know why? Because I thought they had that.
They
type
went
of
for
money,
Chris Wood ahead of my man, bro.
So for me,
but that was tactical,
what's
though,
going on there
to knock out Burnley. Nah. I don't think so. If I'm Newcastle, I understand that. Yeah, Chris Wood. It was weird, but I thought it was a tactical move. But Nketiah, nah. I don't feel that he's not. If I'm looking to climb up the league and I've got this big money, then I'm looking to get him, even if it's for free.
Do you know what? Nketiah for me, I don't want to bang on. He's not actually. I think it's kind of harsh. I feel sorry for him. I think he's kind of being thrown in the front line because for Arsenal. He's been a fantastic servant, fantastic in the youth team. When he plays his little, no, because bro, come on,
it's not me, bro. It's your boy, bro. It's your boy.
You related somehow,
No,
but
bro,
all this sentiment,
he's from North as well, you know.
That's what I'm saying. For me, man hasn't really done anything wrong. No, do you know what it is? Because he has been, but I don't think that it was his fault that Arteta's thrown him in at the deep end and he's not been ready. That's what I'm saying. If we had a more experienced manager, he wouldn't be there. So what I'm saying, I don't want to disrespect him and say,
no, respect
he
him.
Can't play.
I'm not disrespecting him. I'm not disrespecting him.
No, but don't do that. Don't do that. You're trying to do them talk sports. Don't do that.
Yeah.
What we're saying,
get a social media vote.
Yeah, this isn't his, from the evidence we see so far. This is not his level. Yeah, I want him to go somewhere and do well.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. I'm sitting on the fence as to whether he's actually a Championship striker. But I think, based on what he's done so far, I think Championship might be his thing. Yeah, but he's done enough for a Brighton or Palace or someone to say, "Come to our team. You're gonna be on a free, so we work for us. We'll see." But I think he'll go. I think he might end up in the Championship slapping goals and earning his money there and doing well, and then maybe come up a bit later, do a thing when he's a bit older.
I don't think he'll come back.
But we'll see.
Championship. But listen. I said half an hour. It's gone to an hour. You guys,
we knew. I was sitting there looking at the door, looking at the time.
You know that, shut up, man. Yeah, whatever, man. But anyway, I'm gonna end it by just giving who do we think is gonna win against with the Brentford match? Just want to give predictions. Obviously, I think I won it last week. I went for the victory. I didn't get the result right, but I did get the victory right. So I'm going to start off by saying, for me personally, we're at home against Brentford. I think we want revenge from that match earlier on in the season, and I'm going to go for a 2-0 victory. And I think Lacazette's going to get a goal as well, to be fair. Yeah, I've gone mad.
Was he going to hit his chest and going?
It don't matter how it goes in, as long as it goes in, yeah. We're going to be celebrating the same way, yeah. Right, so we go to you now, John. What are you saying for this result?
Suspended, yeah?
Yeah. But we got, I mean, it's probably
I
Smith
think we're
Rowe.
gonna win. I think we're gonna win, but I think it's gonna be a 2-1. I think we'll concede. But
Concede,
we'll
yeah.
win. Yeah, but I
Okay.
think it'll be a 2-1.
Okay. Nabil, are we going to be positive this week?
Bro, I think it's going to be a draw, you know.
Ah, you're lying to me, bro. You're lying to me, bro.
I'm.
Fair,
You know what?
fair. The rational
No, I can
answer.
feel him, you know. I can feel him.
I honestly think it's going to be a draw because
I hope it ain't.
you know what? Now what I'm doing now, I'm not. Listen, for
You're a
me,
madman.
Arsenal is now the wife that has. He's basically Scottie Pippen's wife, innit? Now I'm taking you back. No, I'm taking you back, but you're done cheated on me too many times now. So I can't get too excited to say you've changed. So that's all I'm saying. She's put a little dress on and she's gone to the originals and she says she's just going there just because of the DJ. So let's see what Arsenal come back, if they come back. She says you're going to be back at 11. Mark Radford's set is at 10. So let's
And it's now 4 a.m.
Bro, that's all I'm saying. But I reckon it's going to be
these
a
times it's
draw.
not
I
Tuesday.
honestly
Yeah.
do. I think
This
it's
is what,
gonna be-
0-0 draw,
I hope
1-1
not.
draw?
I think, do you know what it is? I think Brentford are going to come with a plan. I think it's going to be 0-0.
Okay, no, fair enough. Okay. And
I hope
score
not.
draw.
I hope not. And I'll be happy to be wrong.
Well, yeah, let's hope it don't happen. Kurt, we're going to end with you, bro. What's the score going to be? Are you going to be negative or are we going to be positive this week? Where are we going to end it?
I've got a sneaky feeling the Bear might be right.
Oh, my days, bro.
That there might be a
Man are
draw.
killing me.
But I feel like what Nabear said, like the analogy was a lit one. Like it's real. Like, bro, we've been cheated on too many times. And man's just got that sneaky feeling, like, bro, like I know she's getting piped right now. Nah, but in all seriousness, I'm gonna keep it PG now. In all seriousness, like I just think that I think we're gonna win. I think it will be tight though. I think it will be 1-0. But there is a little something in me that's just saying, because you know what it is? Up till now, as we all know, up till now, we haven't been favourites for shit. All of a sudden now, after that Wolves victory, all you're hearing now is the talk of, oh, Arsenal could be favourites. Arsenal could be favourites. And the one thing we haven't done well with over recent years is being the favourites, bro. As soon as we're the favourites for something, you know something's about to happen. Like when we don't expect nothing, that's when Arsenal will pull out their performance of the season.
But when there's no pressure, when we
expect them to do something, or we need them to do it because we need the points, we need this result, it's going to be big, is when we let ourselves down. That's when Xhaka will go and get himself sent off and give away 4 penalties in the first half and all the rest of it. So so I'm saying 1-0. I'm saying 1-0, but
okay. That's positive anyway.
Ivan Toney's, you know, he was running his mouth after that game.
Yeah,
and I'm not gonna lie. There's been a few times where it hurts certain things. Obviously, Lukaku's comment at the beginning of the season. I remember Dini's comment, and then even this one burnt me because I thought, man, just come up from the Championship and was saying, "Well, Arsenal, boy, I didn't think the level." And I'm like, guys, you need to listen to this, innit? Put this to bed.
But like everything else, we'll ask him where his team is at the end of the season, how many goals he scored, isn't it?
Facts. And you know what? His performances he's played well. He's done well for Brentford.
He's decent, you know.
He's decent, but to be quite honest, I feel that he understands the step up from Championship to Premiership is a big step up because he's not clinical like he was in the Championship. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh no, it's a big step up. It's a big
step up, and that's why I think Ivan Toney's a better player than Eddie. Do you know what I'm saying? If we're going to talk about striker, but we're going to leave it there. We're going to leave it there.
Did you say? Did you say you don't think?
I think he's a better player than Eddie. Do you know what I'm saying? And he's struggling. He's struggling. Do you know what I'm saying?
So, question for you then: we need 2 strikers in the summer.
Yeah.
Would you take him as one of them?
Who? Ivan Toney? Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Nah,
if we're getting 2 strikers in the summer, would you take him as an option?
Nah. There's levels to this thing, Rude boy. And there's
too much.
Nah.
Imagine how much you'd have to pay for him. Nah, not worth it.
Nah, he's not good enough for us, if I'm honest with you. He's one of them players that could probably he's not. I need someone who's clinical. That's what I want. I want a finisher, you know. And I don't
If you're
think he's that
clinical, do
guy.
you come to us without Champions League?
We're gonna find out, innit? We're
Uh,
gonna find out. We're gonna find out.
Hopefully, we won't need to find out. Hopefully, we won't need to know because hopefully, we're going to get
Exactly.
Champions League, innit?
Hopefully.
Yeah, but listen, boys. It's been a pleasure this week. John, thank you for joining us. You
No,
were
thanks
great
for
this
having
week,
me.
man. Yeah. It was wicked. Hopefully, we get the victory this week, onwards and upwards, and hopefully, we take advantage of these games in hand, man. And hopefully, next week when we speak, it's all positive, and we're moving in the right direction. Yeah.
All right,
Until
wicked.
next time, people. Peace, though. And remember to subscribe, like, and tell a friend. I always forget to say that. So please, people, please do that. All right.
That's the
take
first
care.
time, isn't it?
That's the first time I've ever done. I need to do it at the beginning of the show as well. Because I'm not taking it seriously, innit? I need to focus. But anyway, until next week, yeah. Big up.
That's what.